Hi, this is Manish Pandey. In this video, we'll talk about date function. Let me show you here. So here we have created a page for date function, and I'm going to call this page here in the main page so that we can directly access, we can read the data from Excel file and then we can process that. So we'll take here page stage, and now we are going to create a reference of this date page. Now we have created a reference here. For example, I'm going to take this data, this Centrix data solutions. Here we have an order date. So to work with the date function, we need a date. So we have this order date that we are going to take. So let me close this. Now one thing I'm going to do, here we have this collection data, and I want to pass this data directly to this date page. So I'm going to double click on this start and let me click on add, and here I'm going to take an input of order date, not collection. So I'm going to put here orders date, and in the data type I am going to select date, and here we are going to also store that in orders date, that will be stored as a date. Now click OK. Let me take this input. So this input we are going to take to work with the date functions. Now in the main page, double click on this page, because now we are going to pass this value from here, and now we have this date. This is order collection, this is collection, but we have a fill name also. So pass here and put here dot, and then we need to take this order date fill name. So that collection name dot this order date. Now here you can see this value will be a passed as a text data type, but we need to convert this to date so that we can pass here. So for that we need to convert, you need to write here to date. Now open and close bracket. Now this value will be converted to date, and then it will pass to this one, date page. Now here in the date page, what we are going to do, so the first function of this date function is, let me take here one calculation stage, double click and click on date. Now here we have add days. So the name, it says that add days. If you want to add a day to date, then you can use this add days. Let me click on paste, and now this is the syntax, this is the expression of add days. You have to enter date, and then you have to enter that number, like how many days you want to add to this date. Now here I'm going to take value from this order date, so I need to replace that with this one. So let me take here, so now we have add days and then date. Now how many days you want to add? So here you can put here value, like I want to add 1 day or 2 day or 3 days. So here I want to add one more day to this order state. So whatever value, whatever date you will get from this input, that will have a 1 day added to this. Let me store this in a data item, that is add days date, and now click on create. So that will be a dates. Now put here add days. Now click OK. Here we have this output add days. Now let me link this here. Now go to main page, right click, set next stage, right click, run to this stage. Now what will happen? It will read this data, and currently we have 4/1/2022. So it will read this data, store this to this collection, and once it will pass through this, it will pass this date value to that page. Now let me step into that. Now you can see here, now once it will pass to the start page, it will have the date which is coming from that collection. Now we have this order date as a 4/1/2022. Now here using this add days function, we are going to add 1 day to this date. So now we'll have a output that is 5/1/2022. So the format of this date is DDMMYYYY. So it will add one value to this date. So now we'll have 5/1/2022. Now the next function we are going to talk about, let me delete this take a calculation stage, double click here. Now we have add months. So we are going to add a number of months to a date. Now let me click on paste, and this is our expression of this add months function. So to this date we are going to add month. So let me replace this date with this order date. Now how many months you are going to add to this date? So I'm going to add 1 month. Now here I'm going to store that to the add month date. Now let me copy this and paste here in the name, create this. So this has been added here. Now let me start from here, add days. So currently we have order date as an input as a 4/1/2022. Now once we do, it will add one of month to this date. Our output will be 4/2/2022, because as per this date format we have DD YYYY. So this 01 is our month. So it will add 1 month extra. So now we'll have output as a 4/2/2022. So this type of scenario we always get in our project, and you can use this AddDays, AddMonths function to get your desired output. Now let me show you other function. Take calculation stage. And now we are going to talk about DateAdd. Now let me click on paste, and you can see the expression of this function. We need interval, we need number, and we need date. We don't have an option to say that what value we are going to add. Are we going to add month, or are we going to add day to this date? We don't have that option, but we have option as an interval. And what is this interval? Interval is a number, but it can represent any type of interval, we can say. So you can see here, this is the picture that is taken from the Blue Prism, and each type of interval is represented by the numbers which is listed below. You can see 0 interval that says for the DateAdd we have year, 1 that is week, 2 not available, 4 quarter, 5 months, like this. So if you want to add 1 year to your date, so you can use this DateAdd function with the interval 0. If you want to add 1 week to your date, that you can use this interval number 1. So let me show you with the that is year. So we have 0. So let me add 1 year to your date. So here we have interval. Okay, so as you have seen that 0 means 0 interval says that this is for year. So I want to add year, but how many years you want to add to date? So I want to add 1 year to the date that I am going to input here. Now what is the date? So I am going to replace that date with the orders date. Now store that in the date add date. Now let me create that, and let me click OK. Take this here, link this, change the name, add date add. Now you see here add months. Let me set next stage here. Now we are going to take value from here, input from here, 4/1/2022. Our output will be 4/1/2023. You can see 4/1/2023. Now if we are going to put here 2, which will add 2 years. Let me right click, set next stage, and run. Now you can see here we are getting 2024. So one function, that is DateAdd, will work for all the type of adding the value to date. So it will also work for add day as a add days. It will also work as a add months, add year, add week, like that. So like let's say, so in this picture you saw that this is taken from Blue Prism, and they suggested that they say that not available, but this is from the date difference column, which says that 9 interval represents day. So it means we can use this 9 interval for date add also. Now double click here and I want to add 2 days to this date. So 9 represents a day, right? A days. Now how many days I want to add? So 2 days I want to add to this input. Now click OK, and here you will see we have input that is 4/1/2022, and we are going to add 2 days to this input. So now we'll have output here 6. Set next stage. So you can see 6/1/2022, which is plus of 2 day, right? Now I'm going to show you date difference. So we have one function that is date difference. Let me click on this, paste. Now you can see again we have option interval, start date and end date. So what is the meaning of date diff? So date diff means date difference. If you want to calculate a difference between two dates, so you can use this date diff, which will get the difference between two dates. Now again it works based on that intervals. So let me use 9 as a day. So that I want to get the day, like how many days we are getting in a difference of this start and end date. So double click. So I'm going to use here date day as a 9, and start date I'm going to take as a, that is add days date, add days date, and end date I'm going to take as a uh, that is add months, add months date. Now I'm going to store that in a data item that will be a number type because it will give us a days. So stored in a date difference number, right here date difference, and click this one. Now click OK. Let me take this value here. Now take this here, link this here, link this here. Now right click, set next stage, and now you will see here we are getting 30 as a days. So difference between this two date is 30 days. So by this way we can use date difference and we can find the difference between two dates.